What's up, everybody? It's your girl Free, and this is Freely Living. All right, and I'm back again, and we have another video today. The other videos that I've posted, you're not seeing my face really. So they're more like podcasts, and it's not because I didn't want to expose my face, because obviously there's other videos of me with my face out, but it was because sometimes, y'all, when I just be talking, and I was looking at the video, and like the camera was all up on the ceiling, and everything. And in fact, there might be a video that I upload where the camera is still on the ceiling. You know, it's looking up at the ceiling and the ceiling fan. Like, you catch glimpses of me throughout it, but for the most part, it's not like this. It's not like, we are looking at one another. I mean, I know I can't see y'all, but, I see me, and, which is, we're all mirrors and reflections, and, you know what I'm saying? And, if you know, you know, or whatever whatever resonates with you, whatever you believe or know to be true. My bad, y'all. It's the rising time right now. I done been up for a little bit, but I'm sitting here having my good little cup of coffee, and we about to get the day started. But I felt like it was a good moment to go ahead and jump on here and talk to y'all and chop it up, because I just felt like it was a good moment to do so. So in the last video, we were talking about discernment and intuition. I really didn't even touch on discernment. I just mainly focused on intuition because, again, like, it's because your inner voice is everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what's guiding you. It's your compass. It's your everything. That inner voice. And so, that was the last thing that I spoke on. But I don't know if y'all remember in the first podcast, in the first video, I don't know if you want to call it a podcast or whatever. I call it a podcast because it's me just talking. I'm not channeling, which channels may come through. Channels may come through, you know what I mean? There's, you know what I mean? You never know when, you know what I'm saying? Stuff will always come through. But, this is I call it a podcast because it's just me talking, you know what I'm saying? And it's me giving my input on things, or how I view things, my perspective, all right? So if my perspective resonates with you, or if there's stuff that you gain from hearing these, then tap in, like, share, subscribe, do whatever it is that you do, all right? Much love. But we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So I really want to talk about self-love, y'all, because with self-love, again, this is Freely Living. So the purpose of me even making this was because I wanted to talk about all things free. Okay, first off, I want to talk about all things free, freeing yourself, truly being liberated in all aspects. You know what I'm saying? But that first way, I'm not even gonna say the first way, because everybody does it in whatever order, whatever that is supposed to go for them in their lives, in their journey. You know what I'm saying? There is no cookie cutter way for this whole thing. You know what I mean? It just you know what I mean? It's unique to every individual, right? So I'll say this though. When liberating yourself in this matrix, self-love to me is like top tier. It's one of the foundations. It's like it's a building block. It's the foundation. Because with self-love, remember I said, y'all, when you love yourself truly, there's certain things that you won't even allow for yourself. You won't allow certain circumstances you won't allow yourself to be in certain circumstances. You won't allow yourself to be involved with certain people or certain connections and things like that. And it's self-love is really it's like a layer of protection for real. Because when you truly love yourself, you won't do anything to harm yourself. You feel me? And that's why I say like self-love is one of the biggest it's the foundation. Because for a person that loves themselves, they're not gonna, there's just certain things that they're not gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And for those that haven't built up that self-love fully yet, maybe they're still in the people pleasing phase. I mean, sometimes a lot of the decisions that you make will not be in your best interest. I'll say that. Okay? And what I mean is, you may find yourself in a situation where, let's just say you get an opportunity, okay? And this is, I'm gonna break it down like this, because a lot of people also think that self-love is just about this physical, and it's not. It goes deeper than that. So let's break it down like this. You get offered a position. I'm gonna take myself for example, okay? I ain't afraid to tell y'all the real and give y'all the real, okay? So me personally, I don't believe in pushing a time clock. I don't believe in punching a time clock. I really don't. You know what I mean? It doesn't resonate with me. Now, that's not to say that I haven't or I won't, because I did recently, and if anybody knows, like I said in the first episode, I liberated myself from working. I liberated myself from the corporate plantation, okay? And because that's what I see work as. I see the traditional 9-to-5, these companies working for corporate companies and such like that. I feel like that is the corporate plantation, because it's just a way in which they give you peanuts and they take the rest, and there's the big guys making this large amount of money in which you're taking a fraction. This shit is still slavery. Say what you say. I don't give a shit, but it's still slavery. All right? And so here recently, I started, not listening to myself. And I had a moment in which I got a little shaky, and I got a little question. I just started questioning things. And so I made some different moves, and I called myself going to go back into this corporate plantation just to hop in for a little bit and grab a little change. You know what I'm saying? This is how my mind was thinking. But, I mean, the difference in my mindset now and my mindset back in the day when I was actually like thinking that the corporate plantation was like this real life end all be all. It was everything. You know what I'm saying? When I grabbed a job, when I got a job, I held on to it. I loved it. You know what I mean? Like, I hated it, but I loved it. I hated the job, loved the money type of thing. All right. So anyway, I recently went ahead, jumped back into the corporate plantation, started working for this company, right? I'm not going to disclose the name of the company. This is irrelevant. All right. So I'm working for this company. And, I'm at work, and I've been there for like a week. Again, y'all, this shit not for me. Working for somebody is just not for me. I believe that we're supposed to be creative, and we're supposed to generate our own wealth and funds through different means, whatever it is that we're supposed to be doing. But anyway, so I've been there for about a week, right? Boom. So I'm there, and at first things was cool, you know what I mean? I even found myself like kind of like looking at the benefits and stuff. Like, yeah, and I know I'm just jumping in this thing to grab a little money and check out, I had some that came up. I'm like, I need a quick fix. And so I found myself like sitting there really saying, oh, they got good benefits. Ooh, and I'm like really looking at that stuff, right, y'all? So like, first off, I'm already slipping out of alignment because, no, ma'am, this isn't long term. What you talking about? They got good benefits. Fuck them benefits, okay? Respectfully, Forget them benefits. That's not for us. But, okay, I'm still there and I'm like finding myself doing this stuff. But a week into it, I'm there and, I'm working with everybody that's been there. And I start like feeling vibes. I'm an empath. You know what I'm saying? So I feel vibes. And I could tell when somebody may be saying may not match what the vibe is. And so, for those that are empaths like myself, and for those that are just spiritually intuitive, when you start feeling those things, like that, it messes with your nervous system, okay? And that then messes with your internal, your chakras, your alignment, okay? And so, thankfully, because I love myself, I was there and I'm encountering these vibes. Like I said, everything had been good. It was a week. Like I said in the beginning, y'all, I was talking about, ooh, these benefits, tripping for real though. But I started feeling the vibes and I started just noticing things, and this stuff just started messing up. Okay, like I was messing stuff up. Okay, this is something that I know how to do. I have experience in it. Okay, but for some reason, being at that place, doing this work for them, nothing went right. Nothing. Things that I had done this in the military. You feel me? Like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, I tell y'all what it was. Like, I was a mechanic, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I done these things, but it's like when I was working for this company, everything that I did, it was like I didn't know what I was doing. Everything kept messing up. Everything just kept going bad, right? Then on top of the vibes. Now, when you don't love yourself and you're not putting yourself first, and you're just kind of going through the motions, you will stay. You'll stay, and your nervous system will be messed up. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, sometimes we'll stay in situations and we'll know like our body is saying because the fact that everything. But see, this is what I mean. Like by me listening to my intuition, the fact that really, if I would have listened to my intuition, I wouldn't have even been there anyway. Because intuition said, girl, you tripping, you getting a little shaky, you need to listen to us. Everything good. We ain't never, left you out here high and dry. But my mind, you know what I mean, was thinking, nah, I gotta do something. And so I went and got this job. When really, intuitively, I was already feeling like, nah, we ain't pushing nobody's clock. You know what I mean? But I went and did it. Then when I got there, y'all, like I said, I've already done this job before, previously, have years of experience. But the way that I was there at this place, you wouldn't have known that I had any experience. Everything just kept going bad. And then the vibes. When you're an empath, those vibes, you know what I'm saying? You feel how people are, what people really think. You know what people are really thinking. You can feel it. You just know. And so in that moment, in being in that situation, it's like I had a moment where, all of the emotions and me feeling everything from everybody else. And it's just like, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you could tell like people are kind of irritated with you and like that. Like, I really don't care why they were irritated. I mean, why they were irritated with me, but you could tell when people are irritated with you. You know what I'm saying? Which this is a place where you gotta go fast. Y'all, I don't move fast like that. Okay? I'm not in a rush. I've learned to not rush like that. And so I wasn't moving very fast. But it's just when you are in those situations, if you're an empath and you are in places where you could feel vibes, for you to stay there and ignore the way that it's impacting your body, that you're not honoring yourself, and therefore you're not practicing that self-love. But now if you honor that, that is a way of practicing that self-love. Do you get me? That's what I mean by there's other ways. Ooh, scratching my nose. But there's other ways of showing, how self-love shows up, all right? And that is one of the ways, okay? That situation was one of the ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, because had I ignored how I was feeling, I would still be sitting there at that job with all these feelings, because even though some of those feelings are not mine, a lot of the feelings that I was encountering were not mine. They're just the people around me, and I'm experiencing how they're treating me. Had I stayed there and ignored my feelings and then ignored my love for myself, that would have been me ignoring myself and my intuition and my self-love. Do you see what I'm saying? That would have been me not choosing myself. Okay? So like this time, I decided so quickly. It wasn't even, I'm not going to say it wasn't a second thought, because of course we are living this human experience. I'm not going to sit here and tell people and tell you guys like, yeah, I had no question. No, I did. I had a moment where I was like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't walk up out of here. But then I was like, no, I'm walking up out of here. Like, hell no. We done. Girl, y'all went on lunch and never went back. Let me tell you. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? That's a way of practicing that self-love. You know what I'm saying? Being able to choose yourself even when it may not be the easiest thing to do. Okay? All right? Because sometimes choosing you is not going to be easy. Oh, nose is itching. A lot of times, y'all, choosing yourself is going to be hard. Just depending on your journey, depending on what it is that you're here for. But for me and on my journey, I'm not going to lie. Choosing me has been one of the hardest things for me. It's been a big challenge for me. And the more that I've started choosing myself and putting myself first, it's like the more that my intuition has grown, and the more my self-love has grown. It becomes easier because now it's not so taboo. Now I'm not in this mode of people pleasing and just trying to make sure that everybody's okay. Because the old me would have stayed on that plantation and been like, well, Master say these benefits show is good. Oh, Master giving me these benefits. Nah, and y'all, I'm not I'm not bashing anybody that's in the corporate world and that's making their money that way. It's, hey, there's different journeys for everybody. I'm just saying, for me, it's not my alignment. You know what I'm saying? And in the past, I would have been like, well, this is it. But now it's just like, no, because I have built upon that self-love, and I have built upon, learning to trust myself and listen to myself. And I've taken those steps, y'all. And so when you do take those steps and you really hone in on that self-love, shoot, it's going to go off the chart. It'll be so much easier to pick yourself, to choose yourself every time. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I had to put this little thing out my ear. But it'll be, choosing yourself will just come so much more easily. It'll come like second nature, you know what I mean? To choose yourself. All right? And so that's what I mean by self-love. And ways to build on that self-love is just by truly practicing choosing yourself first every time, even in the littlest situations. Okay? Even in the smallest situations where you may feel like, it's small, choose you Find a moment to choose you, okay? And find a moment to just to really sit with yourself and listen to yourself and just love on yourself and say thank you thank yourself. Say thank you to yourself, okay? Say thank you to yourself for everything that you've done for yourself, okay? First off, because a lot of times I feel like we don't even acknowledge all that we've done for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And we hone in and focus on everything that has gone wrong or that we've done wrong. I don't really like that right and wrong. No, I don't really like those terms because it's either in alignment or it's not in alignment. Is how I feel. You know what I mean? Well, whatever vibration you are in, it's either in alignment or it's not in alignment. It's not right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like when you could take time to really, you know, sorry, I was taking off my house shoe. But when you could take time and just really say thank you to yourself and acknowledge all of the things that you have accomplished, all of the great things that you have done, and not focus on the negatives that you may see or the misalignments that you may notice, or if you want to still say wrongs that you've had, then you can. But when you focusing on those, it's taking you from even valuing the greatness in you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to not be accountable. It's a difference from accountability and beating yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Be accountable, but still show yourself grace. All right? Because it's a self-love. Okay? Self-love. So love on yourself and really give yourself thanks for the ways that you have shown up. Don't focus on the ways that you feel like you've don't focus on your shortcomings or what you consider your shortcomings. And if you do, thank yourself for them too, because they're still lessons. Okay? They're still lessons. And whatever negatives you may see about yourself, whatever shadows, whatever, you know what I mean? Love on those things, those parts of yourself as well, because it's all a part of you. Okay? You're beautiful. You are amazing in every single way, you know, that you show up in. You know, you are you. So love on yourself and love you. All right? Love you. And when you are loving yourself, you will see just how free you will feel and be. Okay? It becomes so much more easier to make decisions when you are truly loving yourself and truly in alignment with what you feel and what you know to be true in your heart with the end. Okay? So that's it for today, y'all. All right, self-love. Build up on that self-love. And like I said, the different ways that you could do it. It's so many different ways that you can build upon your self-love, that you can love on yourself. It's not all about sitting and having self-care days, which those are very, very important. Okay? They're great. They just feel good. But it's deeper than that. It's choosing yourself, even when it's hard to choose yourself. You know, even in moments where, you know, choosing yourself may feel not, I don't want to say wrong, but choosing yourself when it's hard, okay? All right. So, I mean, just focus on listening to yourself, choosing yourself, and loving on yourself, all right? And when you do that, it's really building on your self-love, and you'll notice how free you will feel. How free. I don't know what the heck I was going to say. It sounded like I was about to say fear. How fear you will be. How free you will be. Okay? Ain't no fear. We overcoming fear. And even if you are afraid, do it scared. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things that I've done scared. And believe it or not, even when I walked away from this corporate plantation, even this last time, like I said, y'all, I had a moment in which I was like, we gonna be good? And, I had to reassure myself. And I continued to choose myself, and I continued to put myself first. But again, it was because also of how I felt, what it was doing to my nervous system. Okay, I'm not saying that everybody out here needs to go and quit their job. I'm just saying, when you realize that things are impacting you and your body and your mental or yourself, just impacting you in an adverse way, choose yourself. You need to choose yourself. Okay? All right, y'all. That's it. Peace, love, and hair grease. But nah. Peace and much love to everybody. All right. Like I said, if you're feeling this shirt, Elevate, vibrationsapparel.com is where you can find this shirt and many other shirts. Again, that's Vibrations Apparel, and that's Vibrations with a Z. So VIBRATIONZ Apparel, APPAREL.com. If you jump on there, you'll find this shirt and many more. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe. If this resonates with you, if you're feeling it, if you're digging the podcast or whatever this is, y'all, I'm still trying to determine the name for this. Is this a podcast? Or is this a video? Is it a channel? It's not a channel, because I'm not channeling right now, y'all. I'm not channeling. I'm just speaking, giving y'all my perspectives and my views, all right? So that's why I be saying it's a podcast. But anyway, all right, y'all. Peace and love. All right, till next time.